Well, here we are again. It's Sunday morning, and we've got another few tales to tell you today. We had planned to leave Northern Ireland and go over to Africa, see Uncle Bobby and Aunt Rita, and Uncle Tony and Christine. And we applied and we were accepted. And on the 20th of June 1974, we headed away. We weren't even married a year yet, but we headed away off to Africa. We got on a plane and arrived in Salisbury, which is now Harare. And we arrived in Salisbury and we were in the airport and we had £50. That's all the money we had. Went to Africa with 50 quid. We got 67 Rhodesian dollars for it. And then we got on a wee plane, just about 6 seats, barely scraped the trees, above the trees, and saw children swimming in rivers, swimming in pools and little mud huts on the way down to Bulawayo. It was unreal. Arrived there and Tony and Chris picked us up and we went to stay with them. And it was wonderful. Of course, they had a beautiful home, swimming pool. Everybody in Rhodesia had a maid and a gardener. Everybody. And it was just mind-blowing for us coming from a wee kitchen house, as it were, in Belfast. So we got a job very quickly. I got a job in a place called Rhodesia Packing. I went there, and the first day there, it was a few expats, Scots and Welsh, and a couple of Englishmen, and there was a guy who was the foreman, and he started calling me Paddy. And my dad said, "Don't let anybody call you Paddy. You're not Paddy, you're Alan. So remember that." And I said, "Okay, Dad." So he kept Paddy, this Paddy. I said, "Hang on, big lad. Don't be calling me Paddy. My name's Alan." And he says, "Sure, you're Paddy." I says, "I'm Alan. I'm from Northern Ireland. That'll do." So this went on for a while. And after about 2 weeks, I had enough of this here. And I said to him, "No, I'm not happy with this. You need to stop this." He said, "What's wrong, Paddy?" So I chinned him and knocked him out. And then the manager came out and I grabbed him. I said, "Do you want a bit of this as well?" And he said, "No, no, no." I said, "Well, give my salary. Get the money you owe me. I'm out of here." I resigned before the cops came. So I phoned Dorothy. I said, "Come pick me up." We bought a wee car at that time. She hadn't started work just yet. And she came, picked me up and said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't like that job. I've left that job." And I phoned my Uncle Bobby and I went straight down to the Rhodesian Railways. And I got a job on that day to start on the Monday. And just went back into the old routine again, working during the week, drinking at weekends, clubbing at the weekends. Actually, where I worked was only 100 yards away from the railway pub, so I used to go up there at lunchtime as well, and then go back to work, wee bit like I was back in Ireland. And so playing football at the weekends for Old Miltonians down in Bulawayo in a European league, the Portuguese club, the Cali's club, the Italian club. Get into lots of fights there. Was Paddy this, Paddy that. We were fighting our way through these games. Remember one game in particular, the crowd got a little bit restless. Used to be maybe 1,000 people watched it, and we got out of there by the skin of our teeth. But we continued to sing, to drink, to work. We went up to Victoria Falls, working on the railways. We were able to get an overnight train, and it would have melted you. The heat was beautiful. The sun was great, but on this train, I mean, it would have melted you. And Dorothy got in the bottom bunk, me in the top bunk, went overnight, spent the day in the falls, cost about $5, and then came down again, another overnight. And of course, Dorothy's down below again. I've been up on the top there like a sauna, and then back to work again. And that's just what our life was. A lot of drinks, a lot of clubs. Relationship, not so bad. And then wee Mandy came along, 1976. She was born in Mater Dei Hospital, the Mother of God Hospital, run by nuns. And I remember going up filling in the form for Dorothy to go in there to birth Mandy. And a wee nun looked at it and said, "Oh, you're from Belfast." She was from Dublin herself. And she says, "And you're a Protestant? No, we don't want your kind in here." And I looked at her and she smiled. She says, "Come on, we'll take good care of Dorothy." And they did. And wee Mandy was born there. And just a gorgeous, just took over my life, still has taken over my life, and the light of my life in many, many ways. And so we're living together there. We're doing okay. We're loving on wee Mandy, going to the soccer games together. Dorothy would push the pram in there. We're playing the Portuguese club one day, a lot of swearing and stuff going on against each other. And this wee man kicked me, and I chased after him. And as I chased after him, there was a big crowd at the game. I caught him right round the thighs, and he lifted off the ground. He went about 12 feet over a wee rope fence, and the whole crowd get up, call me all the Irish, this, that, and the other, threatening to come off the pitch. Dorothy had to get down from the stand with the pram and go outside. So I was sent off, and they escorted me outside, and had to get away out the back gate of Queen's Club in Bulawayo there. And those were wild days. And then I applied for a job up in the middle of the country in a steelworks and went up there. And of course, the drink was much cheaper. Cigarettes, I was smoking about 90 cigarettes a day, drinking a crate of beer at home and a bottle of cane spirit every night. And we're up there, and plenty of money, but no life. Poor old Dorothy had no life at all. We'd go to the swimming pool once a week. We didn't have a pool ourselves, and our lives were not great. Our relationship wasn't great. And then we decided to come back to Belfast for a holiday at £3,500 and drunk it all. Getting up in the morning, going to the Dockers Club, drinking pints of Guinness and glasses of Tia Maria, and then just knocking about pubs all day. And Dorothy was there with Mandy, and we were seeing the family and everything, but our relationship was going downhill badly because of the alcohol. So we went back to Rhodesia, back to Redcliffe, where the steelworks was. And I says, I think we should go back to Ireland. Now, when we had arrived in Rhodesia, Dorothy, after 3 weeks, said, I don't like it here, I want to go back. And I give her the passport, and I said, away you go. But we need to give this 2 years. Now, here we are almost 5 years later. I'm saying I want to go back. And Dorothy says, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here. But we booked the flights. We arrived back. We arrived at my mum's house, wrapped the door, didn't even tell her we're coming back. And the three of us pressed ourselves into a wee 9-foot by 6-foot room. All of us in there. Mum was very surprised, as was Dad. I went back and I got my job back again in Mackey's. Back doing the same old thing, drinking, working, football. Had no relationship. Now in the house it was all picture, no sound. It wasn't very good at all. And Dorothy then presented to me in 1979. She says, I want a divorce. And I didn't know what to do. She wanted to take, Gary had been born in 78, my son, my one and only son. And I said, no, I can't get a divorce. I said, I want a divorce. I've had enough of you. And my life just went to ruin and rack and ruin. Didn't know what to do. A divorce? What will become of Dorothy? What will become of our wee family? How would we ever reconcile? Tell you about it tomorrow. God bless your heart. Thanks for listening to this. Hope you're enjoying it.